Welcome to the 100 Grand Man podcast. I am your host, Ray Lewis, and I give you my daily dose of political and entertainment world and the key issues that are shaping our lives. This is my Monday show, and in my Mondays and Thursday shows, I give you how I feel about far as like what's been pissing me off. It's my segment of what's been pissing me off lately, and it's basically about what the headline of the show is, and it's a lack of respect for the woman, especially the black woman. It's just mind boggling how we're in 2026 and these women still ain't getting their correct pay dues. They're not being worshipped like how they supposed to be. And I know this is probably my second episode talking about the woman, but as you know, I'm pro woman. Uh, I feel as though like they should be created equal as us. I feel as though there's no such thing as a woman's job. There's no such thing as just a man's job, but just one particular thing that separates a woman from a man, and that's giving birth. I feel as though everything else should be created equal, uh, looked upon equally, except like I said, giving labor to our kids. But it's the truth though. We have women in every position in this world, except president in America. We have women leaders at everything. We have women that's you name the trade, you name the exec, you name the board, you name whatever. There's a woman doing the same thing. Granted, men are typically stronger than women, but at the end of the day, studies have shown that women are smarter. I mean, it's a fact. But I look at it as it balances out. But this is particularly about the disrespect of the black woman and how they're used as tools. They're used to be, how can I say, the communications, but they can't be the leader. They use to get points through. They use as guinea pigs. They use as props. But when it come to their style, it gotta fit a certain narrative. And I just feel as though like it's wrong. And it just happened this week when Jasmine Crockett lost the Senate primary. And they try to make it seem like as if like, well, she's too loud, she's too ratchet, she's not the fit for the right candidate to pull conservative voters and MAGA voters. Are y'all fucking crazy? That is blasphemy. And it just pisses me off because they want Jasmine Crockett to shut up, not be her own person, what got her to the position she's in right now. So being as though she's running for Senate, she have to all of a sudden change her character. It's mind boggling. When the head duke in the White House is the most radical, racist, outspoken president in this modern era. So they was comparing it to James Tallarico. Now listen, this is not a segment where so I'm bashing James Tallarico because I'm not. At the end of the day, he's a Democrat. But all that side, if you were to line up their policies next to each other with their achievements and blind pick, whereas though you not have a face right here, you not have a face right here. 90% of every single one of you will pick Jasmine Crockett. And the 10% that's not going to pick her is because you know she's a woman, you know she's a black woman, you know she's a Democrat, and you know she comes at the head Duke in the White House 90% of the time. So I heard Stephen A. Smith, who's black, like I don't even know why I'm even repeating something he said. He's going to say that's the reason why Kamala Harris and Jasmine Crockett lost is because they're basically their whole pitch was the demise and come at Trump. So last time I checked, during that whole entire campaign, he disrespected black people, Latino people, women. We'd already know who his main person who he disrespect every day he wakes up. Obama, Biden, Hillary. Yo, I don't even have enough time to talk about how much all he does is degrade, degrade, degrade. So why, for the president of United States, he's allowed to say and do whatever the hell he wants to, but the black woman who's way more qualified, the only thing he has over her besides the fact that a whole bunch of 77.77 million racist people and uneducated people voted him for president. The only thing he has over Jasmine Crockett? Money. That's it. Money. Name something else he has over her. Not education, not morals, not dignity, and damn sure ain't looks. But we know, just like Tellerico, we know what the narrative y'all fit, especially when it comes to the woman or the black woman. We know what y'all looking for. The good old boy, white boy, talking about religion. Last time I checked, she's always in some type of church talking about her pastor. Oh, we know what you want. We want the soft spoken white boy who talks to people with respect. Last time I checked, the only people she doesn't talk to respect with is people who disrespects other people. Bro, this is 2026. There's no such thing as somebody spit in your face. You wipe it off with a cloth and give them a handshake, say, let's talk about it. No. Somebody spit in your face. Put yourself in that position. Somebody spit in your face, you're co-cocking them. That's what Jasmine Crockett is. The Republican base spits at us. The conservative movement spits at us. Donald Trump spits at us. Donald Trump's whole organization spits at us. So y'all want us to throw the choir boy over there to go read them a scripture and say you're going to be all right? Hell no. We going to send a black sis over there to smack the hell out of him. But that's what it's all about. And that's what pisses me off is because you only fit narratives to people you want to fit a narrative on. And it's not right. But it's largely, I'm talking about her in general because her in specific because something just happened. And all the blogs, all the headlines, that's why to me, CNN is compromised now. They're sickening. Jake Tapper needs to be off of CNN. We're tired of him. We're tired of him. He has to go. They are part of the problem. They are the people who sits up there and allows the conservative and Republican movement to get off with whatever they want, but they nitpick and criticize the Democrats and the colored folks. They wanted Tallarico to win this. Us as Democrats, we need that state to flip, but they wanted it to flip. They see how under the water Trump is. They see how under the water Trump administration is. But the narrative on what they need to spin is they need their good old boy over there to represent Texas because they feel as though that's the only way that they can win. Whereas though she literally almost beat them after they cheated Dallas County. They cheated her with Dallas County, and she damn near beat them with just the black vote. Literally, just the black people, she almost beat that boy in. So that goes to show that exactly what type of country and exactly what type of state that is. A racist one. Even the Latinos who don't believe shit stink. Their mothers, fathers, cousins, sisters, kids, all getting snatched up because of how they speak and they look. And they still go out there and vote for that type of person. Oh, well, we don't care. Like, we don't care. It's sickening. And I'm tired of shit. It just pisses me off. That was what's pissing me off. And like I said, today's show is about the black woman and how disrespected she is in the federal government. And we're not going to be going for this anymore. We need to stick behind our sisters. We need to stick behind our women, especially the ones in the federal government, because it's sickening. It's sickening how disrespected these women are in the federal government.
Well, you have to remember that there are a lot of African American women who have college degrees, sometimes multiple advanced degrees. They're homeowners, they're voters, they're churchgoers. They work in the public sector. If you're in my age group in your 50s, when you're 20 years old, the corporate sector was not big in hiring African American women. So what do? They all went into the public sector to help America's government.
Where you're seeing all the
and
cuts
all
from
those
the federal
cuts,
government.
devastating Doge cuts, smashing the backbone of the black middle class. All those women who did the right things, who paid their taxes, who went to school, who work hard every day, getting wiped out. That is a big chunk here.
In 2025, the federal employment for black women plummeted to 30%. 30%. 30% in 1 year. That is just in static. It was targeted removal of black women from the United States federal government. For decades, the public sector was pathway to the middle class for black women. In 2025, the pathway was destroyed. We're going to uncover three prolonged attacks of administration used to pull and show the disrespect that these black women have been enduring ever since the head duke in the White House was made president. The numbers paint a damning picture. In 2025, federal unemployment for black women fell by 30%. For comparison, the decline was 11.6% for all women and just 8.1% for men. Think about that. Black women, who made up about 12% of the federal workforce, accounted for a staggering 33% of all federal job cuts. How could a decline this steep and specific be anything other than intentional? To understand, you have to look at the machinery that was built to make it happen. This devastated. We all know what happens. He don't like black women. It's common sense. He targets black women. Look at his rhetoric. Look at everybody he's always attacking when it comes to women. It's sickening. And for y'all to literally sit and stand behind this man and make it seem like this man is not racist, this man is not a bigot, it's mind boggling. Because at the end of the day, he don't attack white men, nor do he attack white women in his administration, unless they vote for the Epstein files, unless they vote against his tariffs. That's what he does. This devastation was a coordinary three-pronged strategy. First, the new Trump administration declared a war on DEI, branding diversity, equality, and inclusion program as radical and wasteful. This created the pretext to purge employees involved in diversity initiatives, a disproportionate number of whom were women and people of color. Second, famous Schedule F executive orders was revived. It reclassified tens of thousands of career civil servants as political appointees, stripping them of employment protections and making them easy to fire. Using this, administration hollowed out the agencies known for having a diverse workforce. Third, the administration created a smokescreen by publicly attacking DI as wasteful and using efficiency as the reason for firings under Schedule F. They built a ready-made excuse. When tens of thousands of black women lose their jobs, the administration claimed it wasn't about race or gender. So I need y'all to understand something. DEI wasn't primarily about black people. They target the less uneducated so much that they don't even think about it. It's also about women, period. Not just women of color, women, gays, trans. It's about people who the white evangelicals don't like. It's about the people that the conservative white nationalist supreme movement don't like. This is particularly why they did this. It's sickening the fact that people hear DEI and the first thing they want to think about is black people who isn't qualified. Bro, no matter if you're a DEI hire or not, you still got to fit the qualifications of every and any job position you're doing. But they're so gone off of DEI, they just think it's black folk, period, that they automatically want to grasp it. Oh, they think they better than us. Oh, well, she's a DEI hire. Oh, she's not qualified. Oh, he's a surgeon. He's a DEI hire. He's a plane operator. He's a DEI hire. Bro, you still have to meet the standards that you, if you even wasn't a DEI, you would have to meet. Like I said, the problem is it's about color folk. What happened in 2025 isn't without precedent. It's a chilling echo of 1913 when President Woodrow Wilson segregated the federal workforce. Now think about that. They are comparing this study to 1913. It's 2026. They're comparing a study to that was made 100 years ago when it was segregation. This is how the black folk and a black woman feel like they're being segregated. Before Wilson, the federal government was one of the few places black Americans could hold professional jobs. His administration demoted them and physically separated them from the white colleagues. Defending it was way to reduce friction. The parallels are impossible to ignore. A war on DEI instead of a call to reduce friction, the verification of public servants to justify a purge. Both administrations aim to remake the federal government to reflect an exuberant ideology.
From domestic service in the early 20th century to welding in World War II.
Historically, Black women have had very strong labor force attachments.
According to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, since 1975, Black women have been the leaders in labor force participation despite challenges like low wages, discrimination, and limited opportunities. But in 2025, something shifted, especially for Black women employed by the federal government.
There has been a unique and sharp decline in employment among Black women in 2025. And I call that unique because we don't see similar patterns for other groups of women.
Following the start of the Trump administration's second term, deep cuts were made across the federal workforce, impacting agencies like the Department of Education and HHS. Additional cuts disproportionately affected roles dedicated to DEI, largely held by Black women.
So Black women are, if not the sole breadwinner for their families, they're at least a co-breadwinner. And the loss of these jobs, again, many of those that have come from the federal government, where historically people have better paying, more secure employment, have had a major impact on families' economic security.
After spending 16 years building her government career, Tiffany Mudler landed her dream job at USAID. But the department was shut down before she could start, forcing her to return to her previous federal position, only to be laid off the following April.
I just never thought that at 42 I would be here and jobless, and in a few months, no income, no health insurance, no dental, no vision.
They want you to think less of this person because you're trying to get rid of the diversity of just only hiring white male Christians. They're trying to make it seem like DEI like it's a plague or is a fucking disease because they want only white male conservatives running the world. Look at this administration. Look at the senators. Look at the governors. Look at the congressmen on the Republican side. Tell me how many women, women of color, Latinos, Asians, Somalians, Muslims, black guys is in the Republican movement. I'll wait. Not a lot. What the Trump administration did in 2025 was the test to see if they could dismantle a century of hard-won progress. If you believe this story needs to be told, the most powerful thing you can do is share this video. Support the organizations on the front lines fighting this, like the ACLU or the NAACP Legal Defense Fund. And finally, let's talk the comps. Your voice is a crucial part of this story. What does a government that reflects of all mean to you? They don't like black people, especially black women. Now I was on the internet studying because I'm tired of it. And the main reason why I literally wrote this is because of the black folk. Now I'm sitting up here tearing down this Trump administration because that's a blind fact that they don't want to see. Like I start off with Jasmine Crockett. I can literally go down a list with a lot of women, even white women. But the simple fact that we're going to sit up there and ignore the facts in our face because at this particular moment or a moment in time within this last year or the other 4 years that this dictatorship was running, that y'all want to make it seem like the black woman is not being disrespected is ungodly. 300,000 black women has been laid off in this Trump administration. He has a year under his belt. 300,000. It's only 365 days in 2025. And he laid off 300,000. That should be earth shattering, mind boggling to us. And for the simple fact that the Democratic movement is following their footsteps and pushed a white boy who, once again, this is not a racist take. This is not me being a bigot because I'm not a bigot. I'm not a racist. I love them. But this particular moment is about the black woman and how she constantly gets overlooked for the white male. You can't even say she gets overlooked for the black male because over here on the Democrats, we got them both. Over there, they have one. The sellout in South Carolina. I'm not even going to speak his name. That's all they have. The loss of over 30% of black women from the federal workforce was not an accident. It was a predictable outcome of a deliberate campaign that demoralized diversity and gutted civil science protection. It was profound loss for the women whose careers were destroyed, but also for America. A government that does not look like its people cannot possibly serve the people. The story of 2025 is a warning that the fight for a truly prospective democracy is never, ever over. Do not look at our black women. Do not look at our white women. Do not look at our Latino women, our Asian women, our Somali women, our Greek women. No matter the woman, do not look at her and look at her like she's not equal to us. If not, in some cases, more than another man. Look at her character. Look at her resume. Do not define her because she's a woman. That's my story. I'd like you to hit the like, comment, share. We're going to keep this page growing. Like I said, every time I make a video, we're going to fight this fascist regime. We're not going to let them take us down, whether it's a Republican or a Democrat. Our voices will be heard. and I'll see y'all next time.
Yeah, yeah.